Yeah, sure, we were fighting for playoffs and things, but last year we were much more comfortable. Obviously, we had a great, super hot start where we were almost trying to blow it last year, which is hilarious. But this year's the complete
Right, it's
opposite,
a
where we,
complete opposite
because of
season.
the Tua injury, we were set back a bit, and now we're on that climb. And it's just, it's going to show this team's grit and ability to, if they really want to compete, they have to win games like this. This is a must-win game.
It is.
Must-win game.
It's a statement game. Is
100%
what,
it's a statement game.
It's a statement game for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Obviously for your record and your playoff hopes, but to shift narratives around this team, to shift narratives around the defense, around Tua, around everybody, and say, hey, we've played complementary football the last 3 weeks. How now can we use that to play a better team than we've played the last 3 weeks, right? But showcase, like, hey, we can win. Like, we know how hard it is to play in Lambeau. The fans are loud. The environment's loud. All the eyeballs are on us on a primetime game.
It'd be so sick.
Everything points that we shouldn't win this game, and historic, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
But we know that we match up great against this team. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Tranquilo Sports episode. Gars are ripping, whiskey is out, weather is
out.
We're back.
We are back.
This is our prime. I feel like when we're recording the pod like this, like we're in our prime of the pod season.
Yeah, this is essentially when because we're doing most of it indoors.
We were
to kickstart, and
then we discovered my patio.
And then like this time, last time when the weather started dropping a bit, we were like, all right, let's get some outside vibes to it, and we haven't looked back since.
We have not, and we took it further outside today in preparation for Thanksgiving. So we got the lights set up back here. We got the umbrella. We got a nice little patio set up today, and we brought the podcast set out here too.
Yes,
so
we did.
We're ripping, and more importantly, we're coming off a FINS dub.
Yes, we do. Pat's back.
3 in a row. Brought out the cigars. We're rolling. Tua's playing fucking phenomenal right now.
MVP.
Defense is playing well.
Yeah.
But we're going into the biggest game of the season right now.
100%. This is the game where, we spoke about this weeks ago, right? This is the first real test. The Rams one was a big one. Obviously, Rams are still a very good team.
100%.
On the road, Monday Night Football. Kind of got that monkey off our backs, but this is not only prime time, not only against a very good team, it's going to be freezing cold. So it's 3 big things that we got to tackle, right?
Which is, keep going. I'm going to pull something up here.
And it's going to be, obviously, especially a way that the Broncos keep playing. It's even getting less likely that we could lose a game. Hopefully not. Obviously, there's still a long way to go, but the best way for us to get in is to win out, right? And these are the type of games that you want to prove to yourself that you can win, because come playoff time, if we are able to make it, we're going to be playing a lot more of these games. And I think it's going to help us. It's actually very similar to my thinking of when the Cats made their first run. Not last year's Cats, the year before, where they were pretty much out of the playoffs and they had to fight like hell to get into that 8th spot.
Yep, I remember that.
And they were playing every single game like a playoff game. Every single game that Cats year was a playoff game, really that final couple stretch. And that's essentially what we have to do.
Yep.
And I think that would really help us because by the time we get to the playoffs, if we make it there, we have been playing playoff games since October. So, I'm loving where the Finns are at. Like you mentioned, Tua is absolutely balling. Listen, they're not going to give it to him, but he has a real case for MVP in terms of like.
If they keep winning and you make the playoffs, there has to be at least a conversation around it.
100%. Well, what they'll do is they'll give him comeback player of the year, which I guess you can do. I guess you can do midseason. I mean, Flacco kind of came in midseason and he won it last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do it based on like him getting injured at the beginning of the year. I don't know if that works, but they got to give him something. If he keeps playing like this, I mean, he is playing lights out. He is.
It's just the MVP, like most valuable player,
100%.
Right? And I was talking about it in a group chat today, and it's true. They don't really give the award to the most valuable player.
Exactly.
It's just the best statistical player. And right now that is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's definitely the favorite. Saquon is building a case, 100%.
Josh is still a favorite, but Saquon is absolutely
building a case. And the one that I think has dropped his stock is Lamar. Even watching that game, I'm not sold on Lamar.
I think Josh is ahead of Lamar.
Yeah.
And I think it just also helps Josh in the fact that Lamar's already won.
Bills are 9-2, and they're 8-4.
No, Josh deserves it. Like if he were to win it, let's say it ended today and he won it, I'd be like, okay, like of course Josh deserves it. But if Lamar also won it, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, granted, I do think Derrick Henry, for a while, it was actually my MVP. I think Derrick Henry got robbed of his MVP.
He's got a case
2018 or 2019 when he rushed for 2,000. He should have been the last running back. But what Saquon's doing right now
it's
if
insane.
Saquon breaks both records, I mean, it's his. Like they have to give it to him.
Yeah.
And Josh is going to keep getting, backdoored. But yeah, I think it's between. I think Josh is favorite, but I think Saquon's
got especially after the performance that happened this week. I mean, the narrative is getting louder and louder for him to be
in fantasy. So there you go.
Yeah, fuck, bro, it's crazy. Anytime you have Saquon on your team, you have a chance. You could be down 50 going into that Monday night game or whatever that last game is, and you have a chance.
Yeah,
because he's popping off.
He's playing that well. But Tua, I mean, in terms of back to the valuableness. It's obviously you can see how the 4 games he's out, we go 1-3, and look at the games back. Obviously, we lost to the Cardinals.
Worst offense
Bills,
in the NFL
right?
too.
We should have won both. We could have won both those games. Should have won both of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just the tear he's been on in the last 5 games this is the best. And granted, he was putting up MVP numbers last year.
Yep.
But this is the best that I've seen him. I think in his career. I think he's playing with a lot more confidence. The team is obviously rallying around him. The team knows the spot that they're in, and it seems like they've come together where there's a lot of distractions happening in the front of the end of the season. Obviously, you have the Tyreek thing, and then you've got obviously the 2 concussion discussion,
right?
And it seemed everything was going in the opposite direction for us. And even on the show, like I claimed it was the Dolphins' funeral about a month ago, and this team has rallied together, and they're on an impressive run, and they've been doing it very convincingly. Like the offense is Tua's obviously balling. Jonnu Smith, best player on the team. I think he's the best. Honestly, he should be MVP.
Unreal.
But the defense has really come together too. And the defense, I mean, back to back, really good performances because the Rams game they were really good too.
Yep.
So yeah, man, everything's gelling, and it's all culminating to this Thursday night game in Lambeau, which I wish.
I know.
It's cool that it's on Thanksgiving because it's obviously prime time. It's the best game on Thanksgiving by far. The other games, just in terms of who's playing, the Lions are probably going to kill the Bears, and it's like
then you got the Giants Cowboys game.
Everyone's only talking about the Packers Dolphins game because they know it's 2 really good teams going head to head. It's Thursday night, so I wish it was any other weekend because we would have been there. I would have literally had Lambeau circled, like, oh, we're playing at Lambeau this year. We're gone. It's on.
And we said the one weekend. I hope it doesn't fall on his Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it fell on it, but I'm super excited. A little bit scared just because it's essentially it could be potentially like a season ender.
It's not a season ender, but it's like every game is just like you got to win.
It's kind of a gut punch. This is a big one. This is a big one that will set the stage for the rest of the season. I think.
I saw a stat. So you win, you could be, and the Broncos lose, you're a half game back of the wild card spot. You lose and the Broncos win, you could be 2.5 games back.
Yeah, because and who are they playing?
They're playing another terrible team,
yeah,
bro.
they're playing the Browns.
Yeah.
I need Jameis. Jameis, I need you.
I mean,
my
we
friend.
need Jameis. I mean,
Jameis, I need you. I need you again, my friend.
But they just like they're playing everyone so well right now.
No, listen.
You got to give credit.
Nix,
As much as I don't like him, Sean Payton is just he's devising a plan every week because they're winning a different way every week.
No, and listen,
their defense is legit, and Bo Nix is good.
Somehow really good. He's the one everyone was like, oh my god, did they drafted Bo Nix? Ha. He's probably going to be offensive rookie. It looked like Jaden Daniels was running away with it. Bo Nix, I think, should be the rookie of the year right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and their defense is legit. So that's a very good team. But they still got to play the Chargers. They still got to play the Chiefs.
The whole AFC is still wide open. You got
100%.
the Chargers who lost last night, who are now 7-4.
7-4, yeah.
Right? You have the Colts who lost last week.
Yes, huge.
And they got a couple games.
We almost went perfect in terms of the rooting for.
I know.
The Raiders put up a fight. The Raiders put up a fight, man. They had that game.
They couldn't pull it off. And that's the difference between those type of teams and teams that are playing well at the time.
Yeah, they almost did it against us for a little bit, and then we blew
them out. Exactly. Yeah. But the Raiders are sneaky. So, one of these teams is going to lose one of those games.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to be one of those teams, considering we have the Jets twice.
Yeah.
We have a couple other winnable games.
Losing to the Jets would be
that would be the epitome.
They're in such disarray right now that if we were to lose to them, but again, we're focused on the Packers.
Yeah.
Fuck the Jets. We are focused on the Packers, though. It's gonna be an awesome game.
It is. So I want to talk about the cold game narrative around the Miami Dolphins, right? I think the game time temperature is around somewhere mid to low 20s and can get as low as like 18 degrees going into that game.
Love it.
So you're talking about another cold game.
I wonder if it's gonna snow.
It's a minimal chance of snow.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like it's going to snow. I mean, maybe.
Browns game.
No. I mean, Miami, weather's fucking weird. Anything could happen. But I think like game time precipitation percentage is like 5%. So it's
it'll
low.
Be nice. It'll be nice.
So it'll be cold. And Tua made a quote today. He's like, that Kansas City game gave us cold perspective. So think about it.
It gave us cold perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So just that game alone is about a 50-degree difference.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That just tells you how cold Kansas City was.
That was crazy.
But, maybe that cold game, you play there as much as a shit show that game was, right? Yeah. We were in it for a little bit, whatever. That's the past. But maybe that team can use that as, like, a perspective shift into the cold because they're like, shit, we played in that. We felt that. Mm-hmm. Now everything else is still going to be cold, but it will never be that cold, right? Like, we got historic numbers in that game.
I agree.
So everything else could be a perspective. And the team knows the narrative out there, but I don't know, specifically with Tua, I don't know how much the cold game narrative to be true. And I'm gonna pull up some numbers here from a phenomenal tweet that this guy went in and did an in-depth analysis. And we could post a tweet and share it with you, right? So here are Tua numbers on the road and outdoors post-November compared to his numbers at home in a dome post-November. Okay? You understand like the...
No, I get it, but I'm curious to see what teams, because there's probably some teams that aren't cold
weather. I don't know exactly who was played in these games, but you have to assume that a couple cold games are definitely in that mix, okay? So road and outdoors, he has 248 yards per game, 1.67 touchdowns, with a 1.17 interception per game.
This is the outdoors.
Outdoors. Road and outdoors. So on the road and outdoors. Yeah. At home or a dome, 243, which is 5 yards less, 1 touchdown a game, which is 0.6 less, and 0.83, which is a little bit less in INTs. So he's actually been good on the road in the cold. Yeah, but then how can you make it a Tua thing? How can you make it a Tua thing? Is the argument?
I don't think it's a Tua thing. I think it's a Dolphins thing.
Right. I
think it's just as much of a team.
But the narrative is around the Dolphins, but it's really around Tua. At least in the recent
revolves around him with these people.
But this right here, obviously the Chiefs game was an anomaly. Again, I don't think anybody on that team played well in that game.
No one could. And I don't think Mahomes even played well in that thing.
But reality is, there's the narrative that obviously we can't play here and Tua can't play here in the cold. I think that this team is going to use that as ammunition going in to a cold Green Bay, that they're not going to have the chance to really think about it. Like, they know now, their back is against the wall, that cold doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I'm pulling. Yeah, one of them was Baltimore. Oh, Wow, that's crazy. Look at our schedule last year. We didn't play.
We didn't have that many cold games last year.
We had a home stretch at the end of the year last year. Yeah, we played the Jets, the Commanders, and then Baltimore.
Which we played great in the Commanders game, and that was what 40 degrees, 30 degrees.
We were at that game. That was the game that break the curse. But listen,
not the strongest team, obviously.
Yeah,
but
here's what I'll say to that, and where I agree with you. I think that yes, people will make it about the cold weather narrative, but I think in terms of the team, obviously no one's technically talking about that. Obviously, Tua had to address it, but they're so focused on that they can't lose. Doesn't matter if it's freezing. Doesn't matter if it's 100,000 degrees. Like they have to focus on the task at hand and just winning the game.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. I think it's a different mentality in terms of maybe in years past, where yeah, sure we were fighting for playoffs and things, but last year we were much more comfortable. Obviously, we had a great, super hot start where we were almost trying to blow it last year, which is hilarious. But this year is the complete opposite, where because of the Tua injury, we're set back a bit, and now we're on that climb. And it's just it's going to show this team's grit and ability to, if they really want to compete, they have to win games like this. This is a must-win game.
It is.
Must-win game.
It's a what's the word? Like it's a determining factor, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's a statement game. Is
100%
what,
a statement game.
It's a statement game for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Obviously for your record and your playoff hopes, but to shift narratives around this team, to shift narratives around the defense, around Tua, around everybody, and say, hey, we've played complementary football the last 3 weeks. How now can we use that to play a better team than we've played the last 3 weeks, right? But showcase, like, hey, we can win. Like, we know how hard it is to play in Lambeau. The fans are loud. The environment's loud. All the eyeballs are on us on a primetime game.
It'd be so sick.
Everything points that we shouldn't win this game, and historic, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
But we know that we match up great against this team. Like, Jordan Love turns the ball over. Can this defense continue to force turnovers like we've seen the last couple of weeks? Can the offense continue to roll? Because what was the narrative last year? Offense rolled for like 6-7 weeks, and then they kind of cooled off. Yeah. Is there going to be a cooling off period with this offense? I don't know. I don't think so. But
hope not. It would be a bad time to cool off.
Exactly. But can the defense be good enough if the offense does? Because the defense is also getting a little masked, in my opinion, because of how good the offense has been the last 5 weeks.
I agree to an extent. I think it's
we played a shit Patriots schedule, offense.
But the Rams,
we played a shit Raiders offense.
The impressive one was the Rams to me, and that's the team that I want to envision the defense. I mean, listen, even the Pats. Yeah, the Pats aren't very good this year. Been playing a lot better.
Been playing well.
Under Drake May.
I agree.
And we completely shut them down. They couldn't do anything.
I know
anything. So I'm interested to see how it goes. Obviously, listen. The Packers are very good. I think they're third in the NFC right now. They're 8-2. People are kind of not really talking about them. Everyone's talking about the Lions and the Eagles. They're right there in that hunt. They're 8-2 or 8-3, and it's on the road. And yeah, this is a game that if you can go out and win this game, nobody else in your schedule should scare you.
I agree.
That mentally, I'm saying, like, obviously anything happens.
No, I mean your belief in this team increases dramatically if you go and you beat
prime time. It's going to be crazy
on the road.
Temperature, not crazy, but cold temperature, crazy environment.
Right.
If you can win this game, this team can prove that to themselves that they have what it takes to make the run. And so, I'm super excited. I think Tua's going to keep balling. I think the team, I mean, just offense in general, Jonnu and Achane. Ball and Waddle finally had his pop-off game. Reek, obviously, he's getting involved as much as he can too. I know he's not making as many big plays, but he's having great games. Like and him and Tua's connection is still A1. The O-line's playing really well. And then you flip it to the defense. I mean, we're applying more pressure. Trop has been amazing, and you guys got guys like Ramsey who's been killing it this year. Sealer, like this team. We've said it all year. They've got the guys. Now it's time to continue to put it together and make the run. I mean, Calais Campbell will have me running through a wall. I know. Like, I think that these guys, for the first time all year, in the past couple weeks, have really, like, they're gelling better. Everything's kind of coming together. And, obviously you don't want to be in the situation we are where we set ourselves to, but we have an opportunity to get out of it. So, it's up to them now.
Two things off of that, right? So you talk about the Reek thing. Look at Justin Jefferson. Last week, 2 receptions for 20-something yards. And he comes out saying, he's like, I want everyone else to eat. Yeah. What's happening is defenses know, Like, we're not going to let their best player beat us. We're going to have to let the other players try and beat us, right? And it might work and it might not work because you might have that many more weapons and people will step up and make plays, which is obviously what we're seeing with a Jonnu Smith with a Devon Achane, which is
Achane's balling, man.
I know we've been talking about Jonnu a lot. Oh, bro, Achane's a fucking beast, bro. He's got 19 touchdowns in 22 games.
Yeah. No,
you know what
insane.
that is?
He's insane.
It's insane. He's got 11, I think 11 rushing, 9 receiving, or vice versa, something crazy like that. The guy is absolutely unstoppable.
He's balling.
And I love the way we use him in this offense, and he's huge for us. Yeah. But going back to the Justin Jefferson thing, like, teams are taking Reek away. And we're finding, obviously Tua's come back and Reek has started to come back to life a little bit, but we're not seeing the big plays. But guess what? You want to keep giving us the little short stuff and keep giving us the short stuff? We got the guys
to beat you up with it.
We'll beat you that way. And guess what? Yeah. Then you want to press up, opens up the Reek bombs.
That's going to come, man.
It's in due time. Defenses are going to try to anticipate it, and we're going to be able to set up these deep throws. And credit to the O-line where I think we're able to take those shots, right?
Listen, the O-line's been amazing. The O-line, like,
running games,
it's been
running
amazing.
game has suffered since Ingold's been out, though.
Yes.
I don't know if you've noticed it. We didn't run the ball well against the Patriots this weekend.
But he was he not back this week?
No, Ingold didn't play.
Oh shit! I thought he played this week. Yeah.
I didn't see him much.
I think it's just because I got that. It could have been game plan. Dude, Tua was eating like.
I mean, he threw for almost 400 yards and 4 TDs.
But listen, I mean, the O-line is doing their job, and
is it Twitch?
Yeah. O-line's doing their job. Armstead's again knocking on wood. He's been incredible. Brewer, the entire
everybody,
team,
bro.
Everyone's stepping up.
Eichenberg,
even was it Lamb that had to step in for Austin Jackson in the Raiders game?
Yep.
And Max Crosby didn't get a single.
And Isaiah Wynn's coming back.
I don't know
if he'll. Is he gonna? I don't think he'll start this week. I don't think it makes sense for him to start this week.
I don't know. Yeah. Do we have anybody who's like not? Well, I know. Supposedly, Kendall Fuller's not going to play. Which
it's unlikely he plays.
We do need him back.
We do desperately.
But luckily, I mean, listen, with the Packers, Jordan Love's amazing. They got Josh Jacobs, he had 3 touchdowns last week. He's obviously Josh Jacobs. Everyone knows him. The other weapons don't necessarily scare me. They got Christian Watson who can beat you on big plays, things like that. They've got a bunch of solid guys, not any kind of similar with the Pats, but a little better. But they don't have obviously a Reek or a Waddle or even or they've got guys that.
Josh Jacobs is that guy for them right now.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs is their bell cow, and but I think with our line and our linebacker play as of recent, did the Pats even
Anthony Walker's probably not going to play this week?
No, that's who it was. Yeah.
So that's a linebacker down.
Yeah.
We did pick up who had the pick this weekend, Dotson. So that was timely pick up there, obviously. But I mean, look, I think personally, if you're going to go into this weekend, I think it's got to be focused around stopping Jacobs.
Yeah.
Your secondary is good enough. Obviously, no Fuller hurts, but your secondary is good enough with Poe, with Vaughn,
and they're missing
with
Dobbs.
Ramsey.
I don't think Dobbs is going to play this week.
No Dobbs, and they're probably not going to have Jared Alexander either.
That's another big one.
Which is a huge one, bro. It's a fair situation in terms of health. I personally think it's about the defense more than the offense. I want to see them continue to force turnovers and get sacks. Chop has been great.
Chop and CeeLo, since the return of CeeLo too.
It's a whole different situation, but we need to continue to force turnovers because you want the offense on the field.
Understand any predictions?
So I part of me thinks it's kind of almost going to be a little bit of a high scoring game.
Me too.
I don't think it's going to be a defensive back and forth, lots of stops. I think it might start that way and then it'll open up a little bit. I think the third quarter will be a high scoring quarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for any third quarter bets, take the over in the third. That I don't know. I kind of got that feeling. But score projections, I'm thinking a 27-16. 20. I think it's like a 27-23 game.
Okay. I'm gonna go similar to you in the similar range. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go 20. I'm gonna go 28. I'm gonna go 28. That's kind of very similar. I was gonna go 28-24, but yeah, I'm gonna go 28-24 Fins.
I like that.
And I think John is gonna find the end zone again. He's on fire. I think Tua throws for 4 touchdowns again. I think all 4 touchdowns are gonna be Tua.
And Jonnu, another touchdown.
Jonnu touchdown. I think Reek's gonna find the end zone again.
I think Reek gets a touchdown.
I was close last week, and I'm gonna do it again this week. Odell Beckham touchdown.
Odell had to look there. He's been
feeding him a little bit more in the red zone. Obviously, Jonnu's his main red zone target, which I love. But I think Odell's gonna get one. He's getting a little bit more involved. He had a bad drop this game, but I think they're gonna slowly keep working him in.
Yeah.
So.
Let me see my touchdown scores this week. I would love another Jonnu touchdown. That would be crazy.
Jonnu's been.
I love the Reek touchdown.
I think Reek finds the end zone.
I think Ingold gets a short yard, a little short yard touchdown.
All right.
that's where I'm feeling. I'm feeling a very balanced.
I'm also feeling a Ramsey pick, not pick 6 pick, and I think Steelers going to keep dominating.
Chop strip sack.
Dude, Chop is awesome.
He's been getting so close to getting there to the ball.
Bro, he had 2. I think he had 2, or they called one back.
Yes, that was the one that that May kind of came up with it, which was It was borderline. It was very close, and that was a chop pressure.
My turn. I have a bold prediction for score.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be high scoring. I think we're gonna win 21-10.
Okay.
And touchdown scores.
I would be shocked if our defense holds them to 10 points.
I think Tua's gonna run one in.
Oh,
holy shit!
Tua anytime. I'm taking it. I'm taking that. Screw it. I am going to be on the chair like freaking out, dude.
It's going to be a mixed bag of emotions.
I think Malik's going to take a reverse jet sweep to the crib.
I like that.
I think those are my 2.
All right.
Bold one, Julian Hill touchdown.
Oh,
I was kind of feeling that too. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of feeling a Julian Hill touchdown, but
he's living on a thread.
I refuse.
Hey, we're only positive though. We're on a 3-game win streak. It's Thanksgiving. We are thankful for the Fins. We are thankful for these Padrones. Shout out Padrone.
Yes, we
are.
And
we are thankful that we're gonna beat the shit out of the Packers on Thursday
I hope
night.
so, man. I mean, a dominant performance against the Packers in Lambeau would be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
To me, it would set the tone.
That's a tone setter. That's oh shit. Like these guys, they could be legit.
Yeah.
So
one game at a time. Every week.
One game. Every game.
Every week is not even like a reason to celebrate. It's like you take the win. You're like, all right, we did our job.
I go when it's playoff. Like I'm there. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm locked in. Like it's playoff.
100%.
Like these are. I've never experienced a playoff win, and now I've experienced 3. So what are you gonna tell me now?
I'm sure a real playoff win will feel a lot better than these last 3.
No. You can bury me at Hard Rock.
But
after a divisional round.
We shall see this weekend, and hopefully we're smoking another celebratory cigar.
Yes.
We might be smoking one every week at this point.
I know I want a pack. I want a Packers pack. That's what I want. So
yeah, let's get into now what was a crazy college football week and a lot of upsets.
Yes.
Especially in the SEC.
Yes.
Which we will get into, but
I got to touch on FIU first.
You want to start? You want to jump in? Okay.
I got to start with FIU.
Before we get into the SEC talk, we have a controversial thing that occurred with FIU football that Dave wants to speak on.
Yeah, it's kind of been crazy since the last time we recorded this. We recorded this on Tuesday.
We did. We actually spoke a lot about Mac.
Right, yeah. But this was before, like, everything blew
up.
That happened,
right?
Yeah. Everything blows up right after we recorded. So I got to say this. One, first off, this is not an indictment on the man. I think Mac's a super nice guy. We obviously had him on the podcast. Right. He was always super nice to us. I do think he's a very good dude. I think his time at FIU has come to an end. Unfortunately, it's outside of even the noise. The noise is the cherry on top, because you can't be having the season that we're having with the team that we have in your third year and then add on the noise. So for those that don't know, Mac in a press conference kind of slipped up and said basically along the lines of like FIU has no history. What do you not what do you expect, but like, there's nothing before this. Like,
basically he said that they had no success.
We've had no success. We're building from here, right? Which obviously, I've been here since the beginning. That's 5 bowl games, won conference championships,
Right.
9 win seasons. You know, we in our short history, we've definitely had success like that. Granted, yeah, do we have a national championship? Obviously not. But in terms of success at the FIU level, in terms of our lifespan, we've had tons of success. We've had tons of guys in the NFL. Obviously, we're talking about Jonnu Smith a lot, you know, Cyprian, T.Y. Hilton, you can go down a whole list. That's first thing. Second thing, so that leads to all the ex-players, including T.Y., who like never says anything, comes out, tweets at it like, what's this guy talking about? Like, this is our history, which opens up the floodgates to every single athlete that's almost played at FIU's had something to say about it.
I was very surprised by that.
Everyone came out the woodwork to bash this guy, which led Mac to drop an apology on Twitter. Didn't really go over too well either, to be honest. And then
it looked like it was written on like the phone notes.
No,
and just
it was notes.
Right?
Like that is a notes apology. That's literally what people make fun of all the time. But so he drops that, apologizing, whatever. Whatever. He might have made a mistake. Like that's then this whole Reggie Peterson thing comes out where he left the team. I think his timing. He took advantage of the noise happening, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna tell this story. And a lot of the things in there that he says, like, granted, one of the big ones that people are taking away is that in one halftime of the FAU game, I think either last year or the year before, Mac threw a chair, and it hit a player in the head. So obviously, he even says it in the thing. It wasn't intentional. He wasn't throwing it at the player, but he did it and then refused to apologize for it, something along the lines. And he's had those type of outbursts. I think that enough, especially with the way the season's going. If we're undefeated, yeah, sweep that under the rug. We're not. He's not performing.
Yeah, everything's louder when you're losing.
And if he's doing that, it's just there's your reasoning to do it. So I don't know, man. It's been a pretty crazy week, and then you go to lose freaking Kennesaw State after being up 2 scores and with under 6 minutes left. We've had that. It's been the same story all year long.
Yeah.
This team is too good to be in the spot that we are, and we're here. So Mac, again, he came on the pod. He's a super nice guy. I do like the man. But it's time for him to go, in my opinion, at FIU. I think it's time to move on because, especially now in this era with the transfer portal and things like that, it's easier to lose a lot of guys like that. And so if you're going to have guys this unhappy, it's time to move on. Like, you can't lose the locker room and stay another year. I'm sorry.
You have a reputation now,
Yeah.
So imagine trying to hold on to players and bring in players, and now all of a sudden this is all floating around social media, and our feeds are probably more FIU than the typical person.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see, like those things got some views on it.
It's going to 100% have an impact.
And people saw it, right? So you're whether you know all the facts about what went down or you don't, you still saw something there, and you're like, I wasn't really leaning FIU. Now I'm really not going to be leaning FIU.
Yeah.
Like the narrative can't be that when you're a program that's like holding on to a thread to try to get people in, right?
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden,
and everything else, the worst part about that is everything else it's on such an upward trajectory in terms of obviously the Pitbull thing happens. All the we're making waves with the jerseys, the fields. Like Scott is doing everything he can in terms of putting the spotlight or as much spotlight as he can for us. And then the performance is at the end of the day the nail in the coffin, right? Like that's the selling point. If your team's bad, no one cares. So you can do all this flashy stuff. And I love that because it gives us that opening. So when we are doing well, it's an added bonus, right? More eyes are on it because of it.
Right.
But when you're having such an embarrassing year like this, when this team is so good, man, I'm telling you, I've been saying this from the beginning. This is the best team that we've had since 2019. Yeah. And I can see it. I see the improvements myself. And Max said it in the beginning, this is the best team he had, and I agree with him. But the fact that we are 3 and 9? 3 and 9?
3 and 8, 3 and 9.
3 and 8? Yeah. 3 and 8. We're 3 and 8. And you can't go into your third year with your best team and lose more games if we lose on Saturday than you've done in the past, or go 3 straight years of 4 wins. Like, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Especially the way that a lot of these games have gone. We've been in every single game, and if you can't win them, it's unfortunate, but it's time to move on. I think it's time for FIU to move on. So
why didn't they fire him already?
Great question. I don't know that answer. I think it's got to either do something with probably money. Obviously we're not the Bamas, and we can't just pay off people like that. I don't know what his contract is.
Well, the thing is,
I am more shocked as well. I thought that this week he would have been gone. I thought by the time we recorded this episode, he would have been gone. It hasn't happened yet. As maybe it happens tomorrow when you guys are listening to this. But it has not happened yet. Maybe they just give him to the end of the year and do it. I don't know, but I'm a bit shocked, and I think they have to do it sooner rather than later because it will impact not only recruiting, but once that transfer portal opens up and he's still our head coach, I truly believe the floodgates will open.
Yeah.
And and listen, all I want is what's best for FIU. Obviously I love FIU.
Right.
And I just don't see it with him, and I think we need fresh blood, and I think there's guys out there that can do it. I think there's a couple names that I would love to see at FIU. So
who's those?
I'll give shout out to Frank Ponce. I think Frank Ponce would be my personal choice. Frank Ponce would be the prodigal son returning obviously FIU grad. He coached here with Mario.
Mm-hmm.
He's the OC at App State. So I think he'd be great. He's got really high recruiting ties in South Florida. I think he can retain, if anyone is thinking about going to the transfer portal, I think he can help retain that and hit recruiting pretty hard. So he would be my choice. Tim Harris up at UCF, who was also considered for the job that Matt got. I don't know if he'd still be interested, but I think he'd also be a slam dunk hire in terms of, obviously he has history at FIU. He wanted the job here at FIU. He's the OC at UCF. He's done a great job there, and I think he's another one with deep ties in recruiting in South Florida. And, he knows all these guys on our team already. So, not all of them, but, he has ties to them as well. So, I think either one of those guys would be my personal choice. And I think right now you need that. You need either one of those guys. You can't have a Mac in terms of somebody not from the South Florida, the ties in recruiting. I think especially now more than ever, you need one of those, and you need those guys that will connect with the players more now, especially after everything's come out. So
why not go all in on Ray Lewis?
No, I don't want Ray Lewis. It would be a fun name, but I never coached. I don't want Ray Lewis. I would rather one of those.
It's the Dion effect.
Yeah, I guess it could be. It could be the Dion effect, but we could also be the Dion effect of Jacksonville State, I think wherever he was before,
right?
Where he just leaves for a bigger program in 2 years and takes everyone with him. So I would rather.
I would say we would be more on the equivalent of a Colorado than we would be.
No.
Colorado was in the dumps when the guy got there.
They were in the dumps, but they're also in the Big 12.
No, I know. They're not in as big of a conference, but
and they have more history, and I don't know. I agree. Listen, if it, maybe, but I don't know. I would rather go with the safer choice because I mean, we can take whiffs we want, but I need a two safer choice, and I think those guys would be a great job. I think they'd be heavily invested at FIU, and I think both of them would kill it. So
it's an interesting time because you got FAU that just fired their coach.
Yes.
So both these teams are coming off bad seasons. Almost thought they were both gonna break the curve off of some of the history that they've had over the last couple seasons.
Well, FAU is a bit more shocking, to be honest, because FAU's been really good.
Right.
Just Herman wasn't able to crack it, and Herman's a great coach.
But now it feels like they've taken a step backwards, right? So it's if you want to win and take that kind of recruiting pool away, it's gonna now is a super good opportunity if you're FIU or FAU. And I feel like this moment right here can really shift the narrative of both of these schools. It's just a matter of what is FIU going to do? Are they going to take the FAU route, fire their head coach, or are they going to ride with Mac one more year?
They can't.
I thought they rode with Mac one more year based off our conversation on the last pod.
No.
But after what just happened on Twitter
if all
this
this
week,
didn't happen, then they would have rode with him.
Exactly.
You can't do it anymore.
I agree.
You just can't. You just can't. We can't. And a lot of people are fed up about it, man. I mean, FIU doesn't have a huge fan base, but the fan base that is there, that they've had enough, man.
The other thing that I actually wanted to ask you, because you brought it up, right? All these players have been tweeting about the whole MAC thing, right? All these past players, TY being one of them. Why are they not more involved with the school?
There's two parts to them. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I wish they were more involved. I know Jonu's involved. I know Cyprian's involved.
Yeah.
Guys like TY, I don't know. I do know to an extent. I don't know why they're not more involved now. I know TY's his ties are with Cristobal.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't like our old AD either, Pete Garcia, scumbag loser.
Yeah.
So he cut ties with a lot of people weren't coming back because of him. But I don't know. It could be he lives in Indianapolis too, but he should be. I mean, he should be doing more in my opinion. And hopefully that door opens if we bring in someone like a Ponce who was here when TUI was here. You kind of bring those guys. But Sip's super involved. Jonu's super involved still. Obviously, Gator's one of the coaches on the team. So, those guys are obviously have come back and support. And even guys like James Morgan, things like that. But some of like the TYs and a few other guys that like I know Sage Lewis is a big one on Twitter that he tweets a lot. Our linebacker during when we beat Miami.
Yep.
I don't know how involved he is now, but he definitely watches. And Maurice has stuff to say. Everyone had something to say.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, it is still their school. Like they see something like this, like they want it to be great. And you know what also comes straight? And not that it should be like this, but it just happens. So let's say FIU was 9-0 right now or whatever, 10-0. I bet you all those guys would be back and they'd be more involved. Granted, should they just do it on their own? Yes, of course I would. But some people aren't like that. But you got to build it. You got to build it back up again, and hopefully one day it will, and hopefully that's soon, man. Because this team is too good.
Yeah, I know.
This team is too good.
It felt different this year, but the result was the same.
The conference is too bad, and the team is too good to be not fighting for bowl games every year.
I agree.
So
we shall see. We'll break the news first if Coach Jackson is fired.
Yeah, stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'll be breaking news.
Let's get into what went down this week in college football.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of upsets, like I had mentioned. The SEC seemed to be in control going into this last couple weeks of the playoffs where we thought, damn, it might be crazy. Who the hell is going to get in? All these 2-loss teams.
Yeah.
Now, it kind of imploded, right? You had Ole Miss lose. You had Bama lose. You had, who else?
It was Bama, Ole Miss. Colorado in terms of because
Colorado did lose. There was another SEC team.
BYU lost. There's a bunch of ranked teams. I think in the top 10 it was Bama.
You had Indiana.
Oh, and Indiana.
Number 5. Yeah, there you go.
Indiana. Where did Indiana fall to?
10.
To 10. So they're still in it right now.
So, but
they got helped a lot by the SEC actually.
They did, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Because I would have assumed they would have fallen out of the top 12, considering I know that their one loss is to Ohio State, but it's not like they were ever in that game.
Yes and no. They were in the entire first quarter or so.
They were and they weren't. It's like, you kept it close and then they ran away with it.
I don't think Indiana's as good as obviously an Ohio State. Even like a Penn State, I think Penn State would beat Indiana as well. But I think Indiana's just as good, if not better, than like an SMU or those teams who are good, by the way. I'm not saying that they're not. I actually do believe Indiana is a good team. Do I think they're a great team? No, I think there's the Oregons and those teams.
Right.
I would still take over Indiana. But I think Indiana at 10, I don't have an issue with it. Especially listen, say what you want. You can say Bama would beat Indiana. Well, Bama just lost to Oklahoma, who's having a terrible year.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So you can't put a 3-loss Bama team over that 1-loss Indiana team when they've been dominating everyone. And their one loss, it wasn't great, right?
And in Ohio State.
In Ohio State. And it wasn't great, right? And you can see the difference between Penn State and Indiana, right? Obviously, Penn State, bigger program in general. But Penn State-Ohio State game, that was a one-score game to the wire at the end. Then Indiana was kind of like a blowout for a little bit, and then they kind of, scored a late touchdown to make it seem not as blowout-y.
Yeah.
But listen, I still think Indiana's a good team. I still think they deserve to be in the back end of the 12, especially with how everything played out. If Bama doesn't lose, if Bama and Ole Miss don't lose, Indiana's not in it right now.
Right.
The only reason they're in it is because Bama and Ole Miss got their 3rd loss.
Right.
The only reason.
They would have put 2-loss teams over a 1-loss Indiana.
Yeah. And who knows how this shakes up? I mean, Indiana's got, who do they got? I think they got Michigan State or something. So let me see who they got this week. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if they go 10-1 or 11-1, I think they should be in it. I do think that.
And who? Well, they would have to win the conference championship. They play Purdue.
Yeah, if they beat Purdue, they'll probably be in it. To be honest, they'll probably get in at that 11th spot.
But who do they play in their conference championship?
They won't play in it. They're in the Big Ten.
Oh,
so
true.
that they won't play and Penn State won't play. It'll be Ohio State versus Oregon.
So it's almost a blessing.
It is. For Penn State for Penn State and Indiana.
I'm talking about Indiana. So
both of them, it's a blessing.
If Indiana beats Ohio State, then they would have played in the.
It's a similar thing to what we were saying
right.
about
in the
earlier
SEC
before we were recording about Clemson, right? Clemson's at 2 losses, though, so it's a little different. But they essentially don't have that extra game, so who knows what the committee does. Like, are they going to favor a Clemson program over an SMU? Let's say Miami beats them, right? Are they going to just, kick out SMU because it's not, a primary, one of these big teams like Clemson? So there's a point of it that is kind of a blessing. There's also a point that it shouldn't be a blessing in terms of, like, for them, I don't mind because it is a 1-loss program and everybody else is at either 3 losses that are behind them. So, like, for that, it's like, okay. In the case of, like, let's just say, let's talk about Miami and SMU for instance, right? They both go in with 1 loss, and then they both have to play an extra game. I don't think that should necessarily penalize them for that. Because, like, if they lose, like, let's say an SMU loses, and they put Clemson over them, I don't think that's right because SMU had to play an extra game. Because who knows if Clemson could have lost that game too, and SMU would have, you know what I mean? So I don't think you should be penalized for playing in the championship game. But a lot of times, like a Penn State, for example, if they went out, they're 11-1, they're in for sure. Like, they are one of the top 12 teams. Like, they just are. But it is semi a blessing because they don't have to play Oregon again.
Right.
Ohio State would have to play Oregon again. And then what the blessing is in terms of for Oregon is, like, they can lose the Big Ten championship and they'll still be the 5 seed because if they go undefeated, they're
exactly
their only loss is the team they already beat. So, it's going to be a lot of that. We'll see how it plays out this week. It's going to be crazy, I think, at the end, and I don't know what the committee's going to decide. I think they already are trying to sneak Bama in. I think that's absurd.
You can tell they're holding on to them.
They have Bama there at 13. I think it's a joke that they have Bama there. I truly think that when this week ends, whatever that top 12 is, minus, like, it'll be very interesting if Texas A&M beats Texas this week. Because then Texas A&M plays in the SEC championship. And Texas doesn't. So Texas will be a 2-loss SEC team like Tennessee, not playing in the championship. But then if Texas A&M wins, do you penalize Georgia, even though Georgia's going to have 3 losses, but their 3rd loss came in the SEC championship?
Right.
So, like, it's going to be an impossible scenario that I'm glad I'm not deciding.
No, I know.
But I think that 2 things. I think, 1, they're going to try to bone somebody. Somebody's going to absolutely get annoyed and boned out of this thing
100%
for a ridiculous reason to fill it with some of these bigger names like a Georgia and a Bama and Clemson. So we'll see how it goes. I can still see Indiana getting bounced out. I can still see SMU
100%
if they lose the championship getting bounced out as well. So
I mean, for the sake of the ACC,
Miami's safe if they make it.
The ACC got saved this week by the fact that all these 100%. SEC
because if they didn't,
if
Ole Miss and Bama win this week, and let's say Miami goes to the ACC championship and they lose,
they're for sure
there's a chance that they are out.
Yeah,
like
I would say
out.
for sure.
They are
I would say
out.
for sure. I would say one ACC team makes it, and it's the ACC champion.
Now, if Miami loses this week to Syracuse, I think they're 100% out. See, they won't be put in a 2. In my opinion,
no, because then now you're talking about a 2-loss team, right? Clemson obviously will.
That's not playing. So if Clemson goes and loses, they'll be a 3-loss team, but they'll probably still put them above Miami because they played in the conference championship.
If you're saying if Miami loses this week, loses the ACC championship,
if they lose this week, they're not in the ACC.
They're not in the. Oh, that's true. Yeah, if they
because
lose
Clemson, no matter what happens this week, is in the ACC championship. The Miami lost because South Carolina is not in the ACC.
Even if
so they already finished their ACC schedule. They're done.
Gotcha.
So their only way in is if Miami loses.
Right.
So in the case that Miami loses this week, they do not make the ACC championship. Clemson makes it. Clemson could lose this week. South Carolina win the ACC,
and then
they
get
in. The bid, and they'll have to keep SMU probably still because they're going to be a 2-loss team. But their only 2nd loss was in the conference championship. So I think that would bounce Miami out. So there's a bunch of scenarios like that could happen.
So to go back to your Bama thing, right? I agree. You see them fall to 13, you're like, damn, they should have fallen further down. But now let's look at who's below them, right?
Yeah.
Ole Miss is at 14.
That's
South Carolina's 15. Arizona State's 16. 17 is Tulane. I don't think you rank any of those teams higher than Bama. I actually think Bama's correctly ranked.
To be honest with you, I would put South Carolina over Bama and Ole Miss.
That's the only team that I would contemplate.
Just based off their wins. I mean, they did lose. They lost to Bama, but like in a 2-score game. I guess so.
Yeah, head to head.
And no, never mind. I take.
And they lost to Ole Miss.
They lost to Ole Miss. I thought they beat one of the 2.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore me.
So I think Bama's correctly ranked. Like I don't know who you put over them. South Carolina would have been the only team. Arizona State, I guess you can make an argument.
Yeah. Shit.
But
it's true. No, it's true. It's true. I don't hate it. I still think though that if everyone wins ahead of them this week, no matter if some of them lose in their conference championships, they shouldn't fall behind Bama.
well, yeah. I mean, the committee has made their
SMU, Miami specifically,
right.
And
Arizona State right now technically would get in as the 12 seed.
And Oregon and Ohio State, neither one of them, even whichever one loses, is not getting knocked out. So,
no.
The interesting one is Texas to keep an eye on, because if Texas loses, I don't think that since they beat Bama, no, they didn't play Bama this year. They beat Georgia. They lost to Georgia. Texas lost to Georgia. So
Texas lost to Georgia,
but Texas loses to Texas A&M this week. They do not make the conference championship, but they'll be a 2-loss team. But they'll still be ahead of Tennessee, so they'll be safe. The only teams in trouble are
Tennessee.
No, Tennessee's fine.
Tennessee's fine, yeah.
Tennessee's fine because they beat Bama. Tennessee's a team.
Well, assuming that they don't lose their last week.
If they win their last week, they're in. The only teams that they could possibly honestly do it to, I don't see them doing it to Indiana if they win this week. 11-1, it's gonna be hard to. It'd be SMU or Miami. It'd be whichever one of them two. Yeah. If they make it and they lose, I don't think they would bone Miami, to be honest. But SMU, I think they would absolutely take out for Alabama.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
How about Boise?
No, Boise's in. Well, no. If Boise loses this week, there's a chance that they're out.
Yeah,
because Tulane can jump them in terms of the G5.
Right.
Because Army got cracked.
Well, Boise's in right now, not even as a G5, just strictly off their rankings.
They are though.
No, because they're 11.
Yes, they're in based on their rankings, but they're automatically in because of their so.
But I thought the 12 seed only went to the G5.
No. So the thing is, since Boise's ranked higher than anybody in the Big 12, it's the 4 seeds. I learned this the other day. I thought it was the P4 teams. It's not. It's the 4 highest ranked conference champions.
Oh.
So if they win, Boise State's in the Mountain West. They'd be a higher ranked conference champion than the Big 12, so they get the bye week. But
shit.
If they don't, right? If let's say Colorado was 10-1 right now, then they would automatically get the 12 seed because they're the highest ranked G5 team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. But they're right now, they're in the front door to get a bye week. All they have to do is they win their conference, they have a bye week 100%. Because their only loss to Oregon, and it was a good game. They gave Oregon a fight.
Yeah, because they play Oregon State this weekend, and then who would they play in their conference championship? God knows who. Yeah. God knows who. In the Mountain West.
I'll tell you right now. It would be. I have it here. Mountain West. UNLV.
Wow.
If it ended today, who's 9-2.
That could be a potentially good.
Yeah, and they beat UNLV already.
So does UNLV technically have a chance to get in?
No, because UNLV wouldn't be the highest ranked conference championship.
Even if Arizona State loses and they beat Boise State in the conference championship?
I don't think so. I think if Tulane wins the AAC.
And Tulane loses. And maybe. Iowa State.
They might still give it to Boise, to be honest. I don't know how that would work. Because Boise already beat them, too.
Iowa State technically has a chance, too, right?
Well, if they win the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tulane. Who does Tulane play this weekend? Let me see.
They played Friday. Memphis, yeah.
No, Thursday.
They play on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they play Thanksgiving. At 7:30. I'm watching that game over the FINS game. For sure.
Chilling. Yeah, so that's going to be crazy.
It is. I mean, shit, so much shit can still happen. I mean, like you said, I think a lot of teams are still technically safe, considering they're not going to be playing a conference championship game. But, yeah, Bama is lingering. The Miami SMU Clemson situation is really going to come down to the ACC championship and then whatever other things kind of happen.
Well, now, Miami, I mean, if SMU loses, I think that Clemson.
No, it's SMU clinched.
SMU already clinched.
It's SMU clinched. It's between Miami and Clemson.
Yeah, for the other spot in the ACC championship.
So it's
because SMU's undefeated in the ACC.
Yeah.
They're undefeated.
It's like if Miami wins, they clinch. If Miami loses, then Clemson goes in.
Yeah.
So big weekend for UM.
Yeah. But there is a scenario where I think that depending on how the top.
You guys losing, I don't see how you get in. No, Miami losing, I don't see.
There's no scenario.
You lose the ACC championship.
I'm saying, given we win this week, we go to the AC Championship.
I think you're in. I do think they're in.
Even if they lose.
Yeah.
Because it could potentially be like a top 10 matchup.
No, I agree with you in terms of if you win this week, you're in. Because Miami, as opposed to SMU,
they're gonna have
a big enough name, or if they lose to like an SMU,
who's ranked 9 right now.
I don't think they would put Bama ahead of them, because one of the name and two of their only extra loss was in a conference championship.
Against
SMU is the only one that would get, I think, because SMU, obviously people know SMU, but SMU is not a big brand. Like Miami's a big brand still. Like, I don't know. I think Miami, personally, if they win this week, I think they're in. It would be tough to get them out. Only because of the SEC stuff. Because if not, if Bama and Ole Miss won last weekend, they're out. I truly believe that. But I think they are now in if they win, just because Ole Miss and Bama lost.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's only fair to put in two.
I agree. I think both should make it. Now the issue is Clemson would be the other one, because Clemson could hypothetically make it if they can make it there with 3 losses. Yeah. And then if they lose, they'd be 4 losses. There's no way they put Clemson in.
No.
And then at that point, they wouldn't even put Miami in, and they'd put Bama in.
Yeah.
They just keep Bama lingering, bro.
Yeah, Bama's there.
But we just went through that exercise.
It's hard to put anybody there.
They're properly ranked. There's no one below them that should be ranked higher than them.
Georgia win. If it wasn't for that Georgia win.
But but I mean, you look at everyone that's below them. They should be ranked over Ole Miss. They should be ranked over South Carolina. They should be ranked over Arizona State. They should be ranked over Tulane, over Iowa State, and over BYU. There's no one in that lineup that should be ranked over them. So they're in the right spot.
They are. They're on the outside looking in, but they absolutely have a chance to get in.
We need a couple of teams to play spoiler.
Yeah. Yes and no. I actually like how it is right now. If it ended today, that would be how I want to keep it.
So if SMU takes a loss this weekend,
it does. Well, it would matter possibly for the playoff. Like if they lose, doesn't matter.
Who loses?
If SMU loses this week?
Because they play an ACC team,
they play Cal.
But it'll affect the rankings.
They already clinched. If they win the ACC, they're in. But if they lose this week and they lose the ACC, they'll get out.
No, they're out. They're done. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So.
But that'll open up a door for somebody else.
No, it's Bama. Bama gets in. Bama's just waiting at the bits, waiting for the one team to mess up.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So,
all right, we shall see.
Want to get into some picks?
Yeah, let's do picks.
Before we get into picks, let's read through where we stand.
Where we stand.
Let's see where we stand. All right. In college football, Pooch took a bit of a hit this week. But Pooch is still
took a ton of shots.
Pooch still got a big lead. He's still at 54% hit rate. I'm at 47%, and Andre's at 40%. Andre's gonna need a big week.
I need a big week.
I'm coming
for
Pooch. I'm gonna have a monster ticket this last week. That's that. NFL, I am in the lead now at 58%. Andre in second at 57%.
It's tight.
And Pooch, you're straggling along a little bit in the NFL. You're at 44%. Although your dogs are still positive. Your dogs are still positive at 4-3. I'm 2-5. Andre's yet to hit a dog. You gotta find a dog somewhere.
Bro,
I
had it this week, bro.
No, your dog had no shot.
No, not this week. Last week. I'm sorry. Last week. No, I just went for the DeVito pick. I like to go ballsy with those dog picks, you know? It makes it interesting.
Yeah. So that's where we stand right now. Now, is anyone ready? Because I'm gonna go last. Because I'm gonna have a monster slate. Like this slate is.
All right, I'll start. I'll start with we're doing college first, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Andre.
Give me Q's to cover against UM.
Like that. I'm gonna use plus 10.5.
That's a standard operating procedure for me.
I'll be also on that, so let me just add that already. Pre on that.
Q's to do what?
Plus 10.5.
To cover. I got 11 here.
Even better. 11.
Let me see here. Who else do we got? Let me see. Give me Texas to cover against A&M. 5.5.
God, Dre, we're kind of in sync. I've also got Texas.
Okay. Let me see here. You know what? I'm expecting a bounce back game for Bama. I think they cover the 11.5.
Fuck.
Then give me. Let me see. Give me the over in the Clemson South Carolina game.
What is that at?
At 49.5.
0.5, Clemson.
And then let's get a little early slate going here. Give me over in Colorado points, which is, where do I see that here? Just give me the over. I'll find that number for you. I'm just liking that pick.
Team total?
Team total, yeah.
God damn, we're kind of lock and sling, Dre.
And yeah, I think that should do it for me.
You're only going 5?
Only 5? That's 5? I felt like I picked more.
No, you're only on 5.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I mean, you can keep it at 5.
No, I got to make up ground here. The problem is this can go one of two ways for me. And this is the last week.
You got nothing to lose. I got exactly. In the last spot.
All right, give me Cal to cover against SMU.
What is it, Cal? What?
13.5. Let's trust in Fern this week.
All right.
Coming off an emotional win.
I like that.
And
Are they bowling?
Yeah, that's why it was a huge
nice.
thing. Yeah. I got them to 6 win. And then give me Tennessee to cover against Vandy, 10.5.
C minus 10.5. Okay.
And give me Notre Dame to cover against USC, 7.5.
Minus 7.5. Okay. All righty. All right. That's yours, Pooch. You got yours or no?
Yeah.
All right.
My first pick is Georgia Tech covering against Georgia.
What is it?
20.
Plus 20. Okay.
I got 19.5 here.
Let me take South Carolina money line.
USC. Let me put South Carolina.
2.5 point dogs.
Money line. Okay.
I'm also gonna take Cal to cover.
Okay.
I'm gonna take UM to cover.
UM minus 11.
He has that 10.5 over there. You can't be taking my odds over here, bro.
I'm gonna take USC money line.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Okay.
That'll be it for me.
All right, Pooch. All right. I'm coming for your ass. All right, I've got Syracuse plus 11. I've got Texas 5.5. I got Bama minus 11.5. I also like USC, but not money line. I'm gonna take plus 7.5. All right, you guys ready for this? Time to go down the slate.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna take the over 56.5 in the Tulane Memphis game. Memphis. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the over 56.5 in the Boise State game. Z State. I'm gonna take Colorado team total too, whatever that is. Colorado team total.
Find that for you.
I'm gonna take Wisconsin money line. Just to get bowl season. Right now I've taken every. All right, let's see. No. Oh, all right. Give me Michigan plus 21. Over plus 21 against Ohio State. Give me. I'm gonna take Clemson money line. I think they're gonna get it done this weekend.
Oh.
Yep.
No.
I've got a sketchy one against the boys. Usually, I'm surprised you guys didn't take them. I'm gonna take UTSA plus 7.5 against Army.
Oh wow.
Is Army even ranked anymore?
They're 25, but not in the college football playoff one. They're only.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
You're taking UTSA?
Yeah.
Give me Army.
Plus 7.5. All right.
Give me Army too.
Okay, you
Exactly.
son of a bitch. Good. This is better for me. This is better for me. All right. I've got. Give me Kansas money line to go bowling. Give me. No.
The Colorado total points is pretty high.
What's it at?
41.5.
41.5? Oh.
I don't know if I want that anymore.
Holy cow. What's the total game over?
65.
You know what? No. Give me the entire over. What is
yeah,
it?
I'm gonna make that my pivot too. I thought it
What's
was gonna be like 30, bro.
Over 65?
65, yeah.
I thought it would be like 31 or something.
Bro, for real.
Okay, over 65. I'll do that for you too.
Thank you.
Over 65. Okay. Let's keep it going. What's Penn State's team total?
I'll tell you right now. We got Penn State. Where are you?
I'm gonna look for that.
Where are they?
While you look for that, give me the over 53.5 in the Arizona State Arizona game. ASU Arizona. You know what? Give me UNC -3. Mac Brown's last game.
37.5 for Penn State.
Team total? Get out of here. Okay, I'm not taking that. Give me App State money line. Dogs. God, this is a card and a half. Give me what's Indiana's team total?
What time do they play?
They play 7 p.m.
Okay. Where the fuck are they?
Aaron took that.
You want Indiana's team total, right?
Yeah.
42.5.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, these team
Right,
points are out of control.
Right, I'm staying away from those. I want one more. Let me get one more in here. Let me sneak one in.
Give me Oregon.
I'm taking it too.
Total points.
I'm taking what is it?
34.5. Over. Give me the over. I want it. You don't have to take it, but I want it.
I'm on it. I was gonna take the -19.5, so over 34.5 team total. Okay, so that is I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
How many
10,
picks
11,
did he
12,
make?
13, 14. I have 16 plays.
Wow.
Pooch has 6 plays.
Ooh.
You have
2 ways.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait.
I think I need to get to like 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're at 10.
All right.
So you're at 10. I'm at 16. Pooch at 6.
If I can get to like 9 and 1 on my slate, we're sitting in a good spot.
Holy cow! The graphic is gonna be big.
Gonna need to use a long one.
Yeah.
All right.
2 pages,
I like it.
2 pages alone for my picks. All right, that's college football.
So let's get into some of our NFL picks now. After that monster slate of college,
I feel like we're gonna have a lot of similarity in the NFL.
I think so. There's a lot of picks that are.
And I like some dogs this week.
Me too. Me too.
I like some dogs. Let's get it out of the way. Dolphins money line is going to be on everyone's card.
100%.
Yeah.
I had the FINS money line across the board. That's basically a wash in terms of like
I had to scroll
catching
down
ground.
hard to get to the bottom of mine.
I can't have all the same picks as you. I got to catch some ground on you though. So.
Want me to kick it off?
Yeah. You go.
You want me to go first?
You go before me for sure.
Okay, I'll go before you.
Yeah.
So Dolphins money line. Steelers money line.
Okay.
Oh, I think everyone's gonna pick that one too.
I want the Steelers money line also. At least the NFL we still have like 5 weeks left though. Like
that's
college
true.
football
Yeah.
ends this week.
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah. That's
I'll still
true.
go first though. I got my pick. Sorry, Pooch. What was your third one?
Let me take the Rams -2.5.
-2.5. Okay.
Let me take the Chargers -2.5.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite of that one.
Oh, we don't want the Chargers.
No, we don't.
Okay, then take it off.
No, keep your picks. It's okay.
We need the Falcons.
Do we? Okay, so
Of course.
Falcons money line.
Well, we don't need them, but yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we need
100%.
Especially any NFC. Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on Falcons money line. I'm gonna have.
How many did that put me at right now?
You have 4.
I do need a big slate to try to make my way back in.
I mean, we remember the NFL. Yeah, we have like 6 weeks left.
Yeah. No, we got time.
So college
we
football
don't want to
the
go
last
crazy with
week,
NFL.
so-
Okay, that's fine.
Go with what you're confident with.
Let me take Seahawks -2.
Okay.
And then my dog of the week
Okay.
is the Cleveland Browns over the Broncos.
I love that. Pooch, we're going to have very similar. I'm obviously on the Dolphins money line. I'm also going to take the Steelers money line. I'm also going to take the Falcons money line. I'm going to take, this is going to be a disgusting one, and I hate it already. I'm going to take the Bears +10.
I don't hate that.
I'm going to take the Bears +10. I'm going to take the Cardinals +3.5. I don't know to win, but I think they can keep it to within a field goal against the Vikings. I don't hate the Pats here, which, by the way, we have to root for the Pats again this weekend, but I'm not going to take them, but we do have to root for them. I'm going to go... Give me the over 51 in the Eagles-Ravens. And then my dog of the week, I am also going to join Pooch on the Browns money line. All right, so I've got 6 in my dog.
All right, question. Is Trevor Lawrence playing this weekend?
He's questionable.
He's questionable?
That's why I didn't touch it, but
Damn.
He might play. We can put it if he plays. Like, we can put if plays.
Okay. That was going to be my next question.
If Trevor plays.
Right. If Trevor plays Miami, the line's probably going to move, though,
Yeah.
So I don't know how fair that is.
Okay. We'll see. We'll set it to how I don't think it's going to move that much.
Okay.
Though. What's it up now? -5?
Because that would be my dog of the week.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't think it'd get under 3, to be honest.
Okay.
I would be shocked.
All right, well, there's my dog of the week.
Okay.
Jags over the Texans.
Give a backup just in case it does.
My backup will be the 49ers over the Bills.
I figured you were going to pick that one. I was looking at that one too. If it was in San Fran, I would probably take it. But he's supposed to play this week.
Yeah, he might play. Can I pick 2 dogs? Give me both. I want both.
Okay, well, you have some catching up to do with the dog. I'll tell you that.
Catch up on my dog.
You might as well start adding a bunch of dogs.
I can go 0-8 or 2-6. Give me 2 dogs this week.
Okay.
Obviously, we got the FINS pick in already. Give me DeVito again.
I actually don't hate that, Giants. But by the way, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
He got injured.
Did he really?
Yeah, he might not play.
Well, give me actually, that's probably better. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, money line or +3.5.
Money line.
Money line. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have had Lou on.
Fuck, we should have, bro. We gotta get him on. We
really gotta get him on. We'll get him on. All right, Giants money line.
I really want to pick the Steelers, but I know you both are going Steelers, so give me the Bengals.
Okay, Bengals. All right.
Give me the Bengals.
They're -3 though. Like it's like
I know.
I don't know why it's disgusting.
It's such a weird.
They should be -1.
Yeah. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Falcons. Give me the Seahawks.
Okay.
Let me see.
Hell yeah.
I feel good about the NFL this week. I don't know why. Like I was looking at it earlier. I'm like, I like this.
We're gonna see a lot of red on all our things because we have a lot of.
Give me the Panthers to cover against the Bucks.
You've been on the Panthers in a few weeks in a row now.
What is it?
+6?
They're playing well.
It's
Bryce
+6,
Young's
right?
coming. Yeah, -6. Or +6.
+6.
Yeah, and give me the Eagles money line.
Eagles money line. All righty.
And then give me the Browns to cover against the Broncos.
What's that +6?
-5.5.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Browns.
Or yeah, +5.5.
You don't want to add a third dog?
No. 2's already aggressive.
All right. So this is gonna be a fucking mouthful. All right. Ready? Andre Slate for this weekend. Hold on. I gotta stretch before I say these. Andre Slate. Syracuse +11. Texas -5.5, Bama -11.5, over 49.5, Clemson, South Carolina, over 65, Colorado, Cal +13.5, Tennessee -10.5, Notre Dame -7.5, Army -7.5, Oregon team total over 34.5, NFL Dolphins money line, Giants money line, Bengals -3. You want -3 or money line?
For who?
The Bengals.
Bengals money line, yeah.
money line. Falcons, money line. Seahawks, money line. Panthers +6. Eagles, money line. Browns +5.5. Jags, money line. Niners, money line. Okay? My slate. Syracuse +11. Texas -5.5. Bama -11.5. South Carolina, USC +7.5. Over 56.5, Tulane, Memphis. Over 56.5, Boise State. Colorado, over 65. Wisconsin, money line. Michigan, +21. Clemson, money line. UTSA, +7.5. Kansas, money line. Over 53.5, Arizona State, Arizona. UNC, -3. App State, money line. Oregon, over 34.5, team total. Dolphins, money line. Steelers, money line. Falcons, money line. Bears, +10. Cardinals, +3.5. Over 51, Ravens, Eagles. Browns, money line. Pooch, Georgia Tech +20, South Carolina money line, Cal +13.5, UM -11, USC money line, Army -7.5, Dolphins money line, Steelers money line, Rams -2, Falcons money line, Seahawks -2, Browns money line. Holy shit! What a slate.
We went off this week.
Oh my God!
It could be a very similar week to last week where we just shoot a goose egg, or
if we shoot a goose egg with the amount that if we hit an impressive clip. We'll be rich.
If as a collective we go under 15% as a collective, we got to hold ourselves accountable.
I agree. There has to be some sort of punishment.
There's got to be a punishment. There's got to be a punishment towards us.
Yeah. Seriously.
Maybe we bring Lou to do whatever he's got to do.
Yeah. Oh man, what an episode.
And then if we go over 50% as a collective and the Cowboys lose, then it's a roast session on
a
Lou.
Roast of Lou.
Yeah.
He's not even here. We're signing him up.
He has no say in this. This is what's going to happen, though, as the unofficial official #1 guest.
Yes.
All right. Well, that about does it for today. Happy Thanksgiving. Go FINS.
Go FINS.
And that's about it.
Let's do it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for listening.